Welcome to my video. In this video, I'm going to talk about what I did to prepare for my PMP, and I hope the points I mention will be of value to you if you're preparing for your PMP exam as well. The first point I'm going to talk about is the exam itself. So the exam, first of all, let me put it like this. This exam for me was much more difficult and harder than anything I've ever done before, and it required a different mindset. If you go, you've got to think to yourself, this is a marathon, not a sprint. If you go into the exam all tense up, you will frizzle your brain out, you won't be able to think. You've got to calm yourself down. Don't be anxious, you've got to calm yourself down and be more level-headed. Once you get in the flow of things, then things get easier and you can perform better. That's the first thing to say. In terms of the exam itself, it is 180 questions to be done in 230 minutes. So you've got 60 questions, 10-minute break, 60 questions, 10-minute break, 60 questions. And for every 60 questions, you're looking to do it within 75 minutes. That way, you got the proportional amount of time needed to do the other block of questions. And when you're doing the first block of 60, you've got to think, okay, I'm halfway. Am I on track to finish at 75 minutes? So once you do some papers, you get used to the kind of feel for how things are progressing and how you are progressing at the questions. But that comes with practice. When I went to do my exam, I went to an exam centre, which I recommend because I thought it was much less stress. You just turn up, everything's all done for you, you go straight in there. I've heard the horror stories of people that do it, at home and the Wi-Fi doesn't work and it's a nightmare. I think for me, it was less stress, much easier to go into the exam centre. And I remember when I went in, I was, you register your details and I was super anxious and super nervous. But before I started, I took 3 deep breaths, calmed myself down, focused, and then looked at, got into the flow of things. And then, as I mentioned, it gets easier. The next point I'm going to talk about is PMI Study Hall. Now, this is on the PMI website. It's around $50, I think, approximately around that, and I strongly recommend you subscribe to it. It goes over all the topics for PMP that you would need to know, but for me, the real value was the 2 mock papers, which were as like to the actual exam as you're going to find. I found them harder. The questions in the mock exam, I found them harder, but it helped you in 2 ways, major ways. The first one, it gives you a feel for what you expect in the exam, and that's really invaluable. The second point, if you get a question wrong in a mock question, if you get a question wrong while doing the mock paper, they give you an index for where in the PMBOK it is, where you can get more information for that topic. So it actually, for me, it helped to fill in the gaps in my knowledge. So I understood everything much more clearly and understood the background to a lot of things that I may have missed. So in that respect, it was great. And it really helped me to prepare for doing the PMP. And I strongly recommend subscribing to PMI Study Hall. The next topic I'm going to talk about is about books. Now, there are loads of books out there. My goodness, you can get lost in them. And I'm going to talk about the books I used. So the first one, and the one I really recommended that helped me the most, was the PMP Exam Prep Simplified by Andrew Ramdayal, which was a fantastic book. It goes through everything so clearly and so well organized. I just found this so easy to digest, and it helped me immensely. So yeah, this is the book I strongly recommend using. I also got Rita's book. Now, Rita's book, PMP Exam Prep, is great, but for me, I think her procurement section and stakeholder section were really helpful. And there were some aspects in those sections that were made clearer in this book. So, I think Andrew said it in one of his videos. If you can't get yourself around a concept or a topic, then go find someone who can explain it better, where you can understand it and digest it. So I went looking, and Rita's book helped me in that respect. The other book I used was this 6th edition PMBOK, which it is pretty, it's a lot to digest, it's hardcore, but it is the foundation of the knowledge that you need to know, so it is worth getting. And I know there is a new book called the 7th edition, which is far more easier to read, and it was much more easier to digest, so yes, this did help as well. Finally, I've got the Agile Practice Guide. As you can see, it's not as thick, very easy to learn and read through it. It's very digestible and it has a lot of information, and for me it's a great reference outside of PMP in terms of any Agile knowledge base you need to refer to. The next topic I'm going to talk about is YouTube videos. Now, there's so many YouTube videos there. I think you just immerse yourself in it. When it comes to looking at YouTube videos, whether you're going to work, whether you come back from work, having lunch, just listening to a YouTube video, you pick up so much information, and it helps you to learn so much more from doing it. And there's lots of gold nuggets of information you get in them as well. So really just immerse yourself in it. The ones I looked at the most was the Andrew Ramdayal one. He does lots of YouTube videos and they are fantastic. He has so much information, so much knowledge about PMP. The kind of questions, the preparation, it is brilliant and so invaluable. So I strongly recommend watching Andrew Ramdayal's YouTube videos, and I'll put a link to description. I'll put a link to his videos in the description rather. The other video I watched was PMP with Ray. He's done a range of videos and he shows you ways to memorize just memorizations, and the way to look at things and explain things is brilliant. Honestly, it gives you so much clarity. His explanation about lag helped me immensely when he was explaining about the lag topic, and that is one of many videos I think were brilliant about him. The last one is EDU HubSpot. He's really good as well. He goes over exam questions, and I think the exam technique he has really helps you to think of things, and it's something that both Andrew Ramdayal and Ray mentioned in their videos as well. The last topic I want to talk about is plan your study. Now, easier said than done, I totally understand. You've got life, family, friends. It takes discipline, I'll say that. So you need to have focus, discipline, positive mindset, and be organized. And I think they are essential for this. So the way I prepared, I looked at this over 3 months, and I said, right, over 3 months, these are the topics I'm going to learn in the month, and this is what I'm going to learn in the week. And I said, right, during the weekday, I'm going to wake up an hour early. I'm going to learn these topics during the week. And I planned it out, and it was not easy at times. I really found it struggle, but I just kept on progressing and kept on being positive and thinking, yes, I can get through this. Yes, I can pass my PMP. And just being forward thinking, saying, yes, I've got this, I can do this. It is that sense of belief that, you can get through this and you can pass your PMP. So find the time to organize yourself and commit, is what I'm saying in this point. And just be positive, and even at times when I think my focus bit of waned, I just kept on going, and you progress and you develop. So it is, and getting your PMP makes all the difference. So I really recommend it. Okay, so I've gone over all the points I wanted to mention that were valuable to me in preparation for my PMP, and I hope they'll be valuable to you in your preparation. If you have any questions, please leave a comment in the please leave a question in the comments, and I'll try and answer you as soon as I can. I just want to leave on a final point to say, I really wish you well. I wish you well in your preparation and in your success in passing your PMP. Thank you.